Welcome back to Anime Rambles. Today we're going to talk about a show very near and dear to my heart. We're talking about Food Wars, a great battle shonen with a very interesting power system. And that power system is food. It is fantastic. I recommend it to anyone who hasn't seen the series. It's great. Characters are fantastic. The story is great. It's a fun show. I love Food Wars so much. I had a Soma shirt. I outgrew it. I have this apron. It's the same one Ishiki wears in the show. I'm not gonna wear it here because it would be under view line. But I love Food Wars. Food Wars, great show. However, but this is where we get to the crux of the videos. I love Food Wars, but if you think season 5 is as good as the rest of the show, boy, we were watching two completely different shows. Food Wars is great. Seasons 1, 2, 3, 4, all great, all fantastic. Some not as good as others, some a little bit better. But in general, it's a great show. So, let me move me back up here. Season, did I say season 4? No, season 5. Season 5 nowhere near lives up to the same amount of hype as all the rest. To show that, we're going to be talking about three things that prove my point. Three things. One is going to be the animation, and that's what we're going to talk about first. Two is going to be the characters and the story. And number three is going to be the change of the power system, which sounds weird because it's a cooking show, but you'll see what I mean. Food Wars is a great show, except in this last season. And I think JC staff knows that, which is why they decided to basically animate Food Slideshow. So this is a clip from episode 1. We're not going to play sounds because nothing tastes better than the taste of not getting sued. A wise comedian once said that, and I love it. So this is a clip from episode 1. We're not going to be playing any audio, and I'm going to be talking over it. So look, it's panning over. Characters are moving. You can see the hair, the fire, even the characters in the background, all well animated. There's so much life in every scene. Characters are asking for things in the background. It's great. It's cooking some pork tofu. There's panning shots. Every scene has so much movement. A character is always doing something. There's action. There's vibrance. There's a lot of reaction shots, but it always cuts back to characters moving because it has a good budget. Okay, maybe we pause this here. But I feel like that's enough to make my point. And every scene in season 1 and season 2 and season 3 and season 4, all like this. Characters are always moving. They're always doing something. However, in season 5, characters talk like this. They don't move, except for once every once in a while, they'll shift. And then they will talk like this. And they will keep on going in this perfect, like this, only moving things on their face that don't have to animate their body. Very cool, JC staff. And I'm not upset about this because it highlights how terrible the season is. So here's from the second episode of season 5 where he meets Asahi, who is definitely the highlight of the season. And we're just going to watch this. Again, no sound. Very little movement. And it uses panning shots to cover up all the movement. Look, no movement in any of the background characters. Not even a twitch. Not even a twitch. Even our main characters, not moving. It's just panning with the mouse moving. Oh, he turns and then nothing else. We're going to keep going. His mouth is moving. Literally nothing else is. Oh, he has a position change. No one's moving. Nothing in the background. We're going back to something that was animated in a previous season. Well, no one's barely moving. We're lingering on the scene. Backgrounds all copy and pasted from previous seasons. Again, it's just panning to make the illusion of animation. Oh, 4 frames of animation from Megumin. It's just a lot of panning shots in order to show the illusion. Everything pans because we're not animating anything. Anything. Oh, here's some animation. And it's the entire season like that. For Christ's sake, like the opening of season 5. Alright, hopefully the sound's still off. Okay, good. It's literally the characters moving on sticks. There is no meme. They are self-aware. They are telling you we are going to be moving around these characters on sticks. A comedian could not have written that better. This is your opening. This is what people see before the show even comes out. And this is how you're advertising that. This is abysmal. This is atrocious. How do you do this? It's painful. It's painfully blatant. Okay. I love this show, but season 5, I legit, I tried to watch it with a friend. I watched all of Food Wars. I rewatched it up until season 5 with him. And I decided, hey, let's watch it together. All of it. We watched from season 1 to season 5 together, and we started watching season 5 when it was coming out weekly. And we made it to about episode 8, and I stuck with it because I enjoyed watching, sharing something that I loved with a friend. But I no longer loved the series at this point. It was a 10 out of 10 series. And then they made this. Now, I enjoyed the recent season of Seven Deadly Sins, even though it changed studio, and everyone says the animation is abysmal. Because I don't need great animation in order to watch something. As long as the story is good and the characters are good, it can carry it for me. So now we're going to take a look at the characters in question. So in the first seasons, we had these guys. So these are from Polar Star Dormitory. Well, not all of them, but these are mainly our ally characters that we meet throughout it. All great in their own rights. They're all fun. They all leave a presence on screen. They're all fantastic. As we scroll down, we have some more antagonistic characters throughout it. But all of them are all unique chefs with different cooking styles. You have the girl who cooks with food that smells. You have the girl who is great at Chinese cooking. You have Rio, who does fish and seafood. I can't remember where he's from. I think France, but I could be wrong. He's from some port town. You have Alice Nakari, who is does gastronomy experiments and focuses on the more scientific aspect of food, and she studied that. Each one of these, the Aldinis use Italian cooking. Each one of these leave an impression on screen. Mito is a meat expert, and they leave these images in your mind of like, this is how they cook, this is what they do. Subaru Mimasaka, he copies people. That's the way he does things. It's all about the styles of cooking, how they've dedicated themselves to the craft of cooking. And then we have, again, more characters in other arcs, but each one of them has a unique style of cooking. All of them. Again, we move into some of the Elite 10 and former Elite Councils, and each one is still all fantastic chefs, all have their own essence of cooking, their own ideologies of what it means to be a chef and what food means to them. And then we move into the characters in part 5. So these are These are the antagonists. Now, the first thing that jumps out at you is, yeah, they look like clowns. And I feel like this is the mangaka being self-aware as how trash this is. Now, they do not have unique cooking styles. Instead, now we focus on Asahi. And Asahi's not the greatest written character. He's interesting, and he had promise. But his gimmick, yeah, not cooking style, gimmick, is that whatever knife he picks up, he can cook just like the other chefs who wielded it before. Yeah, forget all these years of training and cooking and how long Soma spent preparing every dish before a competition. All his sleepless nights before he went into a competition. No, he just picks up a knife and he can just cook better than people. Yeah, that's what we're doing now. What does Sarge do? Oh, she cooks with explosions. No, it's not explosive flavor. She literally explodes food and attacks it with like a chainsaw and sledgehammers. So yeah, it's just a joke. It's just a joke. And they're all made to be like these over exaggerated characters. They're no longer these fun presence on screens. They're no longer these interesting characters. They're now just jokes. The Sarge, oh, what does she dress like? She dressed like a military sergeant. Why? Because she does. There's no reason for it. This dude's a clown. He cooks things using circus tricks. Oh, this Dr. Octopus guy, he just injects things into food. He has no cooking style. Oh, this bunny girl, oh, she just uses a guillotine to chop meat, and when she does it, her arm gets like 20 times the size and just chops the meat with a guillotine. And wow, look at how thin those slices are. Does any of it matter? No. This dude, he had like not brass knuckles. They were like bear claw knife things, knife things, and he was like, "Oh, I spiced the tips of my knives, and I poisoned the food with spice." It's the dumbest, just the dumbest. And I really like the premise of the arc. And the premise of the arc is that they're cooking at Blue, which is something that's been mentioned before and brought up before. That Soma's father entered Blue, and he ran away, and now Soma's entering Blue, which is like an under 25 age tournament. And apparently, the woman who runs Blue is Erina's mom, and she also is the God Tongue, and she's looking for food that's at that next level. And it's a good premise. However, it's like, oh, we're introducing noir. Noir is these underground, like mafia chefs. It's the dumbest thing I've ever heard. And Saiba Asahi, who was trained by Soma's father, is the leader of noir. And like, they bring back some old characters, but like, I don't they make such a big deal out of the tools the chef uses. It's so stupid. Like, think about it like this. Imagine if in One Piece, we'll use a few different scenarios. In One Piece, if someone picked up Zoro's three swords and was like, "Epic! Now I can fight exactly like Zoro. I can use I can use Armament Haki. I can use everything he can do because I'm holding his swords." Zoro would never be able to get rid of one of his swords because his skill is in that sword. Is that dumb? Yes, incredibly. Uh, Imagine if someone put on Sanji's shoes and just could do the flame jambe or whatever it is, the fire kicks, just because he was wearing Sanji's shoes. No, Sanji and Zoro, they trained for many years in order to get this skilled. And it's the same thing in Food Wars. They put in time and effort into their craft. They learned these techniques. If you can pick up a knife, it diminishes their accomplishments by so much. It's painful. It's painful. It makes a mockery out of every other out of every other season, because you have characters just picking things up and being as good as the first seat of the previous Elite 10, or stealing Soma's knife and being, oh, I can now cook better than Soma. A big theme in Food Wars is braving the storm. In the kitchen, if you're not moving forward, you're regressing. You have to always be moving forward. You always have to be braving the storm. You always have to be improving, refining your skills, continuing forward. But why does any of that matter if you have characters just picking up the tools of other characters without doing any of that work and achieving what they can? Or characters without a cooking style who just have a gimmick of the tools that they use. It's not about spice. It's not about years of culinary work. It's, oh, look, I can break up this food. I can break up chocolate with a chainsaw, putting spices in it. It degrades the series. And I honestly, if this is what season 5 was going to have been, I would have rather been left with season 4. It ended on a perfect note. They were all a year older. They were all members of the Elite 10. They should have ended it there. It saddens me that the series is degraded to this point. And I love this series. This is one of my favorite anime. And I honestly hope, I hope that people will still get into this series and still watch up to this point. And I hope people who's been sticking with the series can overlook this one blunder on an otherwise nearly a perfect show. But that's all I have to say. I hope you had a good day. Leave a like if you liked the video. Subscribe if you want to see more. Do a lot of anime stuff, gaming stuff, talk about animals. But yeah, have a good one.